Man visits lion cub here raised, finds her with new pride. Everybody knows that lions are amazing predators and they are widely known as the king of the jungle. Needless to say, they are very dangerous. Encountering a lion does not seem like a pleasurable activity. Lions have an unpredictable aura around them. It instills a fear in those who encounter them. Will you be their dinner or will they allow you to go about your day? When you go to a game reserve, the employees warn you to not approach the lions under any circumstances. Lions are agile creatures, so when they attack, everything will be over long before you can cry for help. Lion trainers are very good at not allowing their emotions get involved, but that was not the case for Adolfo. For whatever reason, he decided to let passion dictate his thinking instead of logic. Adolfo found a young lion that he named Kiara in Mexico. He took it upon himself to train her, and the two instantly bonded. He took her to the shelter and took care of her. Adolfo instantly fell in love with Kiara. He had the overwhelming urge to take care of her and to ensure that she thrives in her new home. Kiara wasn't just some animal that he rescued, she was like his child and he would do anything to ensure her safety. It is often a struggle finding a name that suits a child, but Adolfo knew that he wanted to name her Kiara. The name Kiara has various meanings in a variety of languages. It means bride in Italian, God's precious gift in Hindi and first ray of sun in Korean. Adolfo felt like the name Kiara is the perfect depiction of his relationship with the young cub. Kiara was named after the curious princess in The Lion King. Adolfo took Kiara to a wild animal refuge where he assisted in her raising and upkeep. There was an evident connection between the two of them. They were both sincerely concerned about one another. Their attachment went beyond that of a trainer and an animal. As Kiara grew up, Adolfo began to notice that she was outgrowing the refuge's facilities. The wild animal refuge was no longer able to house the maturing cub. Adolfo was left with a difficult task. He knew Kiara needed to be sent to a refuge with larger facilities. However, he could not bear the thought of not seeing Kiara every day. Kiara soon found a new home at the Black Jaguar White Tiger Foundation. Eduardo Cirio created the organization in 2013 after rescuing Cielo, a jaguar cub who was being exhibited as an attraction in an animal store window in Maneri. The organization's goal is to provide wild cats with facilities that'll enable them to live their best lives without the constant threat of hunters and endangerment. He filmed his goodbye to Kiara. It was very difficult for Adolfo to say goodbye to his best friend. Adolfo assured himself that he was acting in Kiara's best interests, yet guilt lingered in the back of his head. They had such a strong bond and saw each other daily that adapting to a new schedule felt terrible and painful to them both as they knew their lives were about to alter. Adolfo missed Kiara more than anything in the world, but so much time has passed since he last saw his Kiara, he would no longer be able to recognize the lioness she grew into. People believed that Kiara would no longer know who Adolfo is, leaving him vulnerable to the ferocious monster. Adolfo was depressed because he hadn't seen Kiara in a long time. It had been a year since he had seen her or played with her. Adolfo's memories of Kiara were those of a small cub. Kiara had matured into a fearsome and powerful hunter. She was capable of harming anyone who came too close to her. However, the love he had for Kiara drowned out any fears he had regarding her. He knew that she would know him, no matter what. But was that the reality? The first thing Kiara heard was a familiar voice, a voice she had known since she was a cub, and this was proof enough that his voice had left a mark in her heart. As soon as this happened, she started racing up and down the cage, became overly excited, and kept looking at the door. Adolfo's voice alone made her edgy, and this caused the staff to panic. Kiara had convinced the team that she would become aggressive and attack. Adolfo followed his heart and love for Kiara, got inside the cage against the staff's warning, and opened the gate. When Kiara came out and saw Adolfo, she lunged on top of him, frightening the staff for Adolfo's life, only for it to end in a big cuddle. She was overcome with so much excitement that she even tackled him to the ground, scaring everyone watching, and kept playing with him and holding him tight. Kiara started getting restless and looking to the door, waiting in anticipation for the voice to belong to her beloved trainer. The staff advised Adolfo not to get close if she rattled the cage with her erratic behavior. Adolfo was just as determined as Kiara, but as nervous as he was just as overwhelmed to see his daughter. Nerves soon changed to excitement. However, he was also worried about the unknown outcome. Adolfo was concerned about being wrong but wanted to be right as well. Kiara placed herself next to the entrance to try and get a glimpse of Adolfo, like a predator ready to attack its prey. For a split second, Adolfo let fear and the staff's words play on his emotions and considered turning back, but he threw caution to the wind and followed his heart. The staff still believed that he was putting himself in danger and should watch her from outside, but he was determined to prove everyone but mostly himself wrong. Kiara did not hesitate in expressing her joy and excitement at seeing Adolfo, and she kept holding him, making up for the lost time. She was elated at seeing her dad, and the feeling was mutual for Adolfo. Witnessing Kiara's playful nature was astonishing to the staff because they did not expect this from the predator. They did not predict this outcome when they opened the cage door, they expected something sinister, but Adolfo and Kiara proved that their connection was strong enough to stand anything.